by Margaret Hurd. This week's episode, A Corny Situation. It was the week before Thanksgiving. Mr. Cahuganflugel had a very special project for his science class.
"Today we are going to plant beans," he exclaimed. "We don't have enough pots for everyone in the class, so I want you to choose a lab partner." As usual, Louella Snugglebunny paired up with Millie the Millicent. The day before the Thanksgiving weekend, Louella stopped by Millie's place so they could walk to school together.
"What a beautiful job you've done decorating this place,"
exclaimed Louella, looking at the cornucopia filled with colorful assortment of dried gourds. "Check this out," exclaimed Millie, holding up a colorful stalk of Indian corn. "I thought it would be a laugh to come in early to science class, plant this in our pot, and tell Mr. Cahuganflugel we planted it."
"What a corny joke,"
Louella chuckled. "There's a kernel of truth in that statement for sure," said Millie. "You could say we were up to our ears in the business," Millie laughed as they admired their little creation on their desk.
"Yeah," agreed Louella. "We got a whole stock of these puns."
Mr. Cahuganflugel, on the other hand, was not impressed. "Science class is no place for practical jokes," he said. "You two have a detention. Now tonight after school, I want you to put your creative efforts to more constructive use, and write me a story about this cornstalk." "Just our luck to have a detention on the Friday before Thanksgiving weekend," Millie grumbled. Louella had fallen fast asleep at her desk. A loud crash startled both of them. The cornstalk had suddenly grown bigger and crashed through the ceiling. They climbed it and followed it to where it went. At the top of the cornstalk, they were greeted by a somewhat repulsive-looking giant ogre and his cat. "Run for your life!" screamed Millie. But the ogre just began to cry. "Boo-hoo-hoo! Millie and Louella stopped in their tracks. "What's wrong, sir?" asked Louella. "Everyone's scared of me," he wailed, "just because I'm a big ugly ogre. But I'm not mean. I just wanted to invite you two lovely ladies over for Thanksgiving dinner." The dish or the guest?" "Why, the guest, of course." He smiled politely. "Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Yor, and this is my cat, Grishnarofadumplegolf." "What unusual name," said Millie, as they rode Grishnarofadumplegolf back to Yor's house. "Well," said Yor, as he opened the door, "I was named after the noise I make when somebody pulls my hair. Yor!" And as for Grishnarofadumplegolf, my late wife Bertha meant to call him Algernon, but her mouth was stuffed with macaroons when she spoke to me, so it sounded more like she said Grishnarofadumplegolf. "So the name has stuck with him ever since," he explained to them as they sat down at the table. They used poker chips for plates and drank milk out of thimbles. The turkey was big enough that Millie and Louella could have easily crawled inside. The mashed potatoes looked like a massive snowdrift, and to them the peas were as big as grapefruits. They couldn't eat more than one. All in all, they had a most enjoyable feast together. And of course, after a big meal like that, one does tend to get rather sleepy. Millie and Louella were no exception. As they dozed off contentedly, Yor carefully put them in his pocket and carried them back down the cornstalk, and placed them ever so gently back in their desks where they belonged. Millie awoke with a start. "Louella," she exclaimed, "you won't believe this incredible dream I just had. Wake up! We should be writing this down."